People ask me, I've had a few of my guy friends ask me, like, how did you know? Or what was the secret? They ask me like different ways. And one of the things I tell everybody, for us, but I advise people when they do ask me is,
we met in 2010, right when I graduated school.
right?
And I started working. I started working at the hospital that Jamal was working at. But we met. I was a physical therapist in New York, and I started working at the hospital that Jamal was working at, and that is how we met. And I always thought he was so nice and so smart because he was always studying. He was in school, and he was always studying. And I just thought it was so intriguing that he was, it's rare to see somebody actually focused on their studies like that, the way I was. So I appreciated it.
So I'm going to give you the truth. She thought I was corny and she thought I was annoying.
No, I never thought you were annoying.
Okay, maybe not annoying. A little bit corny.
I loved it.
She didn't deny that part, though. I seen her, as you could tell. She had this beautiful, radiant smile, these big brown eyes, this amazing personality. And I think what caught me about you was you were the first person who actually understood me.
It's because I laughed at his stupid jokes.
Correct. All right. For me, a sense of humor is like a huge turn on, and it's not often. Normally I tell a joke, I have to like break it down to people like, no, what I meant was,
Right.
And like she was the first person that got it right away. And not only got it, you was always witty and quick with it and would respond right away with something similar in humor. Yeah. And I think that's when I was like, I think we're on to something.
Yeah. It's very true. And coincidentally, if you remember, we both asked one of the girls that I worked with that ended up being very good friends with both of us, right, about each other before we even, started right. anything between us. Right. So shout out to Shima.
Shout out to Shima. I thanked her. I thanked her at the wedding. I said, this is because of you.
Wedding. Yeah.
I remember when I thought she wasn't going to make it. I was like, no, you're the reason for the season.
Yes, you're the reason we're getting married. You have to be there. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to her and Jameek.
And Jameek, he helped us.
Jameek helped a little bit.
Yeah.
When I almost lost her.
That's another day, a rainy day.
Another story.
Yeah.
Another story. Maybe episode 2.
Yeah. That's where the struggles begin.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So almost 15 years later,
we've now been married for a year and a half.
Yeah, well, hence the shirt.
Yeah. Show that off.
I wish I could say we made it. We need to come out with some merch.
We do. We will.
Eventually, right?
Yeah, with Heinz and mayo.
Yeah. But yeah, last year, June 2nd, 2023, our wedding day. Yeah. Probably best day of my life. That's when you say it's the best day of your life.
It was the best.
Okay, just making sure.
It was the happiest day of my life. It was. One of the best days was when you actually asked me to marry you, though. Oh. Yeah.
I remember the lead up to that. Oh, man. Oh, man.
We had a lot of, I know.
I prayed and prayed.
I know. We were together for a very long time before he actually asked me to marry him, but I always knew that I was planning on spending my life with this man, regardless of whether there was a ring on my finger or not. So,
people ask me. I've had a few of my guy friends ask me, like, how did you know? Or what was the secret? They ask me like different ways. And one of the things I tell everybody, for us, but I advise people when they do ask me is you gotta have a friendship first.
100%.
That I think that's what really sealed the deal for me.
Mm-hmm.
When it came to you, you was my friend first, and like I thoroughly enjoyed your company.
Same, yeah.
Without, any relations, quote unquote.
Right. No, it's the same here. We always laughed. We got each other. I think you
Right.
were the only one, especially when I started at the hospital. I think you were one of the only guys that actually looked me in the eye when he spoke to me, to be honest. It was like fresh meat. It was like a feeding frenzy, And I think you were the only one that actually spoke to me and like looked me in the eye.
No, that's not true. Come on.
It's very true. I'm not going to name any names, but it's very true.
Yeah, we're not going to call them out on
yeah,
the
I'm not going to call
podcast,
them out, but yeah, it was. I think it's very true, and I think that, I was like, oh, okay. He wasn't like a dog that I thought,
Well, rough. Can we edit that?
Please take that out. Take that out, Daniel. Daniel, take that out. But yeah. So we met. We should get into it.
I think a lot of guys, though.
What?
Everybody. Because you're like you're a dope person in general on top of being beautiful.
No.
And I'm not just saying that because, I have to. But I think because a lot of guys before I met you, like knew you, say, oh, no, she's mad cool. Like,
Yeah, but it was just different. I think it was very different. I think there was like a click right away with you and I.
Okay.
I think you made me laugh right away, and it wasn't like, I think we were able to, like you said, it was witty and it was banter and it was very, yeah.
Okay. There's gonna be a lot of points throughout this podcast that my wife says words that I don't understand or know what they mean.
Like
I did mention that she's a doctor, so so define banter.
Like the back and forth between us, the
Okay.
like joking back and forth and little comments to each other that we would only get and no one else would.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So, yeah.
That was huge for me.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they'll base relationships or quote unquote love off just purely physical attraction.
Right.
But I've always been big on communication and friendship.
Or friendship. Absolutely.
Like if I can't joke with you or you can't make me laugh, I don't want it.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't want it. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I agree with you.
So that was huge for me.
Yeah. And somebody that can keep up.
100%.
That was big for me.
100%.
Somebody that could actually keep up.
Yeah, because I've dated some people where I had to really just break down. Like,
Yeah.
no, get it because
Yeah,
it's
I know.
ketchup and it's red.
Yeah,
Get it?
and they didn't. There
Get it?
wasn't. Yeah, I know. I had to do that too, and that was. I mean, I think that was a big part of our battle was finally realizing like no one else is. This isn't. We're stupid if we're not together, kind of thing.
Right.
Like, why are we fighting this? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. That's how I kind of felt. That's why I, in my head, even before I even ever thought you were going to ask me to marry you, I knew I'm going to spend my life with you because there's no comparison.
When did you know that? Like, come on, for real?
For a long time. I used to call you my husband before you were my husband.
Okay, but when did you know? No.
I think there was a lot of, I think during a lot of our struggles,
Okay.
and I knew when I, during some of our struggles where I was like, I'm not going to leave, so why am I even fighting this?
Okay. All right.
Those were like the real, solid moments, I think, that confirmed a lot of it for me. But also how we came out of our struggles.
Okay.
Knowing I was in love with you, that goes back to the first couple of months of knowing each other, know, and then it just every time something, there were certain events that I think solidified that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What about you? What did you think when you first met me?
I think I told the world that.
You're right, but like when we actually started like speaking.
Oh, no. When we spoke, that sealed the deal.
Yeah.
I told you I already thought you was attractive, beautiful. I think when we actually had a conversation,
Right.
I was like, oh no. My first thought was, I really got to spend time with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I just want to hang with you. Nothing
Yeah.
sexual or anything
Right.
like that. I want to, you know, really get to know you and find out who Crystal was.
Right.
You know, and then when we finally got the opportunity to do that, it was just,
Yeah.
it was on from there.
It was hard. I knew it was, I'm a very private person, I would say, and I like my alone time.
Same.
And
Same.
one of the things was when I realized was I didn't want to leave you.
Okay.
Even though we had like spent like a whole weekend together or whatever it was, like I'm usually ready for my me time, and
Right.
I didn't,
Same.
you know, and I like missed you immediately when you left, and I didn't want to leave you, and
Right.
that was one of the things that.
Okay. One for me is I'm a big texter. I hate talking on the phone. You know, it's even hard at work when I'm talking to like patients' families. Like I
Right.
try to get to the point, get off real quick. You know, I could text all day.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a writer by nature. And with you, I actually enjoyed being on the phone with you. I
Right.
enjoyed our conversation. I felt like, all right, when is this over?
Same.
Are you
Yeah.
done yet?
Yeah, exactly,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
I wouldn't roll my eyes when the phone rang and I saw
Right,
your
right.
name.
Right, let it
Which
go to
was
voicemail and text
sometimes
you
how
back.
it was. Yeah. Sorry, give me a sec.
So
yeah, no,
that
absolutely.
was
I
big.
agree with you. Yeah, I think that was very similar for me too.
Yeah.